Chapter 7 of the book An Immortal's Quest for Soma. Chapter 7 is titled as The Race to be the Oldest. The next morning he felt reborn. Bhang had not given him an answer. It had loosened his grip on the answer he wanted. He began to see a pattern across civilization. Everyone wanted to be oldest, oldest religion, oldest scripture, oldest language, oldest people, oldest homeland, oldest revelation, oldest suffering, oldest truth. He imagined a race. A Hindu pundit ran with Veda under his arm. A Jewish scribe carried the Torah. A Zoroastrian priest guarded the Avesta. A Chinese scholar held bamboo annals. An Egyptian priest pointed to pyramids. A Greek poet recited Homer. Each shouted, I was first. Ashvatthama smiled sadly. The race was comic, the consequences were not. To claim antiquity is to claim authority. If my book is oldest, my priest is older than yours. If my language is divine, your language is a corruption. If my people were first, your people are guests. If my revelation is final, your doubt is rebellion. He read Western critics of Christianity who argued that the Roman Empire did not merely adopt Jesus, it transformed him. The wandering teacher of mercy became the cosmic Christ of imperial doctrine. The direct inner kingdom became church, hierarchy, creed, and power. Dostoevsky's Grand Inquisitor returned to him like a nightmare. In that parable, Christ returns and is arrested by the church that claims to serve him. The institution tells Christ that freedom is too heavy for humans. People prefer bread, miracle, and authority. In that story, the church loves Christ as symbol but fears Christ as living freedom. Ashvatthama underlined the lesson. Institutions preserve the name of teacher by defeating the teacher. Was this not also possible in India? Could Buddha be honored as avatar while his egalitarian fire was buried? Could Ashoka become a national emblem while his dhamma was ignored? Could Veda be praised while no one worshipped Indra? Could Sanskrit be called mother while living mother tongues were humiliated? He decided then to adopt a new identity, free will human, not Brahman, not Kshatriya, not Hindu, not Buddhist, not Indian, not victim, not warrior, not caste immortal. Human. It sounded simple. It was the most difficult vow he had taken. But he still needed direction. The Veda had led him to Avesta, Soma had led him to Homa, India had led him to Iran. The next fire would have to cross the border of memory. He waited for Shivratri. The race to be oldest amused Ashwathama until he saw how much blood it had drawn. At first, it looked like vanity. Civilizations, like old men in village squares, exaggerated their youth by claiming ancient strength. One said his scripture was beginningless. Another said his prophet restored the first truth. Another said his emperor ruled by mandate from heaven. Another said his language was mother of all languages. The boasting sounded childish. But children with swords are not harmless. Antiquity gives permission. If a custom is ancient, it becomes harder to question. If a hierarchy is ancient, those below it are told to be patient because the universe itself is old. If a border is ancient, those across it become intruders even if their grandmothers are buried there. If a grievance is ancient, revenge becomes inheritance. Ashwathama had lived through enough centuries to see how memory can be sharpened. A poet preserves an insult, a priest sacralizes it, a ruler mobilizes it, a crowd acts it out. Later historians call it inevitable. He began to see antiquity claims as emotional weapons. They did not merely describe the past, they organized loyalty in the present. This did not mean all things were false. Some old things are true. Some deserve reverence. The problem begins when age replaces moral examination. Slavery was old, patriarchy was old, untouchability claimed age, war was older than literature. If age alone conferred sanctity, humanity would have to worship it, worst have it. The free will human identity he adopted was therefore not a rejection of ancestors, it was a refusal to be imprisoned by them. He imagined a council of ancestors, a Vedic poet, a Buddhist monk, a Tamil bard, a Persian priest, a Greek dramatist, an Egyptian scribe, a Chinese sage, a Hebrew prophet, a village grandmother who never wrote a word. Each brought something. None possessed the whole. Perhaps civilization should be inherited like a kitchen, not a throne. A kitchen holds recipes from many hands. One may keep, adjust, discard, combine, and improve. A throne demands loyalty. A kitchen invites nourishment. Soma in this metaphor was a lost recipe. Some claimed it belonged only to their royal kitchen. Ashvatthama suspected it had passed through many hands. The oldest tradition he decided was not the one with the earliest date, it was the one that still made cruelty harder. End of chapter 7. Thank you.